Cindy Pederson. I'm a physio. I've been winter cycling, probably about 7 years.
I'm Marnie Dayton, and I just started winter cycling in earnest about 4 months ago when this winter started, probably in October, November. And I've always liked just engaging with the outdoors in the morning and coming home. It's actually the best part of my day, is just to be outside going to and from work.
Yeah, it's a really lovely time in the morning where you might see some rabbits stopping and having a chat at the light with different people, but it's such a nice quiet time, especially when there's a little snow coming down.
I'm a bit surprised that it's still seen as a very fringe kind of thing to do. But actually going outside in the winter is sometimes seen as a fringe thing to do. You need to be a cyclist first. I wouldn't say, you're not going to be a beginner cyclist and start winter cycling. So just finding out why don't you want to bike? And I suspect for most people it's the safety issue or the warmth issue. So just addressing those two things. The most part of the time that it takes to get to work is getting the proper clothes on. So, you get your hot packs ready to go into your mitts, you get the right clothes on for that day, you get all the stuff on, and then you're out.
Well, my biggest tip is have your face covered in the wintertime. So so your goggles need to fit well with your helmet. So I use a helmet that I'm using for my skiing.
Well, I'm a big advocate for safety, and so I have lots of lights. I have a reflective thing on me. I wear a helmet. I wear, we're certainly covered from head to tail. I have had a couple of falls where I've just skidded out. Again, the worst fall I've had was going from my garage to my house. You're probably going to fall whether you're walking or you're biking. That's just a reality of moving outside in the winter.
I always look for a nice trail, right? I don't want to be with the cars because I always think, if there's any problem, anybody's made a mistake, it's me that's going to get hurt. So I'm always looking for as little intervention or little time with cars as possible. You are slowing down for every intersection, whether it's your right of way or not. But I don't go very fast, so I'm really not slowing down. I'm going the same amount, same speed, and just looking, because I'm not a fast cycler. Lots of people are, but I'm not a very fast cycler. So, but it gets me to where I want to go. When there's just that little sparkle in the air, it's the morning, and you've got the fresh, not snow, but the fresh sparkles. And it's just coming off of the light, right? And you might see a rabbit that's bouncing along. That for me is the best time. And then you add a little hoarfrost or a little blanket of snow on the trees. It's just so beautiful. What about you, Marnie?
Thinking of it in a different way, it's really, once I've got myself all ready, and it's the first moment I swing my leg over the bike and take the first pedal. It's just like I'm on my way. It's like an adventure every day.
Yeah, I'm Kira.
I'm Robert.
Hi, I'm ELDAR.
And starting July 2008, we don't have a car, so this summer we are celebrating 11 years of living without a car.
When you start driving, you think this is freedom and this is power. And then after years of driving, you realize that you're in a cage. And it's not such freedom after all. And you're stuck behind the car in front of you. And you are within this lane that's been engineered to go at a certain direction and speed. It's not a sense of freedom, really.
It doesn't really change anything, really, because getting to school is pretty easy. I just hop onto my bike, and the school has racks there, so you can just lock your bike up. I would say the main big thing is that sometimes they have birthday parties outside the city, but that's really just sorted out because they just pick me up.
So I learned that it takes 7 years for an immigrant woman to feel at home. And I think because I was on the river and because I was outside, it gave me so much confidence in me because I can do it. I can be outside, I can be different than others. And I think that built me as an individual, and I'm okay to be unique and I'm okay who I am. So it gave me a lot of mental strength.
Before we chose a house, we chose the neighborhood where we wanted to live near the river, so it would be easy, facilitate getting around by bike. And then, we discovered it's a bit of a food desert here. And so that was the hardest part, was getting food in. And so I found what worked best for me was hauling a large load of groceries, not that often, because it didn't make sense to me to run every few days or even every week for groceries. I have the one cargo trailer that's 11 feet long, and I built it to haul a couple of wardrobes, and then I discovered I could haul windows, drywall, plywood, lumber, stuff that weighs much more than I do. You tend to think that it's not practical, but if you work out the numbers of how many hours you put into collecting something by bike versus how many hours it takes to get something by car, and if you include the amount of time you spend earning enough to buy the car, maintain the car, bring the car to a mechanic, change the oil, all that stuff, it's actually easier and less of your time. Just using a bike, depending, unless it's an extreme distance or something.
Honestly speaking, I always choose where I go. And sometimes I have to decline invitations if it's non-bikeable, or take a taxi if it's really risky for my life, because river is so safe, and then I really don't want to compete with cars.
It's the barriers to biking that are more of a problem than the distance. It's, a circle drive that has no bike lanes, no sidewalks, nothing, and you have to get across that. It's train tracks, chain linked fences, discontinuous bike lanes. Those are more of an issue than the actual distance to fetch things.
And in wintertime, I used to stay till 11 o'clock or midnight, and I would take the last bus. And I'm thankful that bus came. And I would be the only passenger, and I would bring my bike into the bus. The last 7 years, I was the only one biking, right? But now I know regular people who bike and even walk. It's changing. You build the bike lanes, people come on the bikes and
if you invite,
if you build inviting areas, then bicycles will come. So now I'm no longer alone in the winter even.
I'm a newcomer in Canada. I moved here Canada in 2017. When I'm a student, I biking quite often to the school. But afterwards, walking is so tired. I have no time to biking. But when I moved here, I joined the bike valet. I met with my coach. Then I start biking. Started 5K, 2K, to shopping around. And then I can reach 40K biking. And when you're biking, you feel the wind is coming past by you, and also you will see a lot of nice trail. When you drive, you cannot see that. It's not safe. But when you're biking, so bike valet is not an organization that you to know the bike, and also an organization for the volunteer. So when you volunteer your time, your effort, and you will feel happy because you are available for the peoples, for the organization. And in the meantime, I feel I also gain a lot. I become to know the city, know Saskatoon, know a lot of activities, know a lot of peoples. Some of them is introduced by the peers in the bike valet, and afterwards I know more and more communities, and they introduce me to another group. So. And one and another, so I have so many connected. Bike valet is a really, really great start for me in Saskatoon, in Canada. I did triathlon race for 2 times. my next target is I want to buy a nice bike.
Yes.
I can bike faster. I met with a very nice lady in the pedal winch. Her name is Anna, but her family name is very long. I cannot remember. She is so nice. She is an architect. Yeah, she found my bike is not so good to bike faster and longer. She just borrowed me a bike, a very nice bike, for a month. She said, "Hey, you can try it, and you can see how fast you can reach, and then you experience with a nice bike, then you know what the bike you are looking for." I asked, "Have I paid you something?" No. It's just sit my home. It's no use. I was so surprised. It's never happened in our country. And when you ride a bike, it's more, how to say, it's a more economic way. Compare with a vehicle. It is make you sport and also transport from this place to another place. And compare with ride a horse. Sometimes when you ride a bike, I feel, I ride a horse. But compare with a ride a horse, it's much cheaper.